Welcome to a heavy night of boxing on USA. Tonight, former world champion Tim Witherspoon continues his march back to the ranks of the contenders. In '83, a young Witherspoon had champion Larry Holmes on the ropes before losing a 12-round decision. As champion, an out-of-shape Witherspoon proved more than enough to handle European champion Frank Bruno. The Witherspoon power is still evident in his last fight against Anders Ekman. The other heavyweight bout has former '84 Olympic champion Tyrell Biggs looking to return to the spotlight, early battling the likes of Ronaldo Snipes. Months later, stopping David Bay. That leading to his fight with Mike Tyson. Since a major disappointment came at the hands of Francesco Damiani. But Biggs is now committed and wants to get back in the heavyweight picture.
For a short period, it was kind of like a monkey on my back, because everywhere I would go, people would identify me as the guy that fought Mike Tyson. But as of lately, people now identify me as the 1984 gold medal winner.
And a big crowd here on hand at the plaza waiting to see Ossie Ocasio, the former cruiserweight champion who went into the heavyweight ranks. He went 7 rounds with Larry Holmes here against Evander Holyfield. Went until the 11th before he was taken out. He fought a 10-round draw with Mr. Dokes, and now in his 14th year still has high hopes. Here are the New Jersey rules. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect. The standing 8 count in effect. You can never be saved by the bell, not even in the last round. And the judging system, 10-point must system, and the 3 judges will be involved in the scoring. We are ready to go. And for the introductions of our first 2 fighters, let's go to Ed Darian in the ring.
From the beautiful Imperial Ballroom here at the Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino, Atlantic City's centerpiece, Frank Gelb Promotions, in association with the Trump Plaza, present this evening's big professional boxing card, and is approved by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, the Honorable Larry Hazard, Commissioner, the Honorable Jerry Gormley, Chairman, Lawrence Wallace and Yogi Hiltner, Deputy Commissioners. The Chief Physician in attendance at ringside this evening is Dr. Frank B. Doggett, along with his 2 fine colleagues, Dr. Paul T. Williams and Dr. Eric A. Wormser. The judges, John Poteray, John Stewart, and Rocky Castellani. Counting for the knockdown seconds, alternate referee Frank Cappuccino. The timekeeper to bell is Roosevelt Gilbert. In the ring at this time, the man in charge of the scheduled 10-round heavyweight fight, referee Robert Palmer. And now, boxing fans, introducing the principals. First, in the red corner, wearing the white trunks with the black trim, along with the gold color boxing shoes. He weighed in at an even 236 pounds. Now, this gentleman has 23 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw with 11 knockouts. The former World Boxing Association Cruiserweight Champion, all the way from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome aboard Ossie Ocasio. And his opponent in the blue corner. He too is wearing the white trunks with the black trim. He weighed in at an even 224 pounds. Now, this young man has 16 wins, 3 losses with 11 knockouts. The 1984 Olympic gold medalist in a super heavyweight division from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Boxing fans, here is Tyrell Biggs.
Fellas, you already got your pre-fight instructions. I want a good, clean fight. You have any further questions? Good luck to you. Touch him up now. Touch him up. Come on out the bell.
Tyrell Biggs trying to put the pieces of his puzzle together. He is 5.5 inches taller than Ocasio, but Ocasio outweighs Biggs by 12 pounds. Biggs knows he has to get more active. There is no way he should have lost to Damiani and Mason. And he has some steps to retrack, and Ocasio right now is in his way. And Ocasio, who comes in, this is a former cruiserweight champion. Is he a blown-up heavyweight? Well, he makes the Pillsbury Doughboy look svelte. Comes in at 236 pounds, but he has been around. He's been in the pro game for 14 years. He has faced some of the top heavyweights. He was a cruiserweight champion with 3 successful defenses. He's been in and out of the ring the last few years. As a matter of fact, out 13 months before coming back in December of '89 and lost to Ray Mercer, going the 8-round distance, that on the undercard of Leonard Duran. So Ocasio goes from the 1988 gold medal heavyweight champion to the 1984 gold medal super heavyweight champ in Biggs.
And Tyrell Biggs said that his fight plan tonight is not going to give any surprises. He just wants to show the best jab in boxing. And in this first round, he's trying to get that left jab working. Ossie Ocasio is dangerous not only because he's coming after you all the time, and also he keeps that chin low. He tucks that chin. Easy to hit on the top of his head.
One reason he tucks that chin under is because he's not known for having the greatest chin. Age of 33 out of San Juan, Puerto Rico. And he has become a opponent. He is solidly built, as you see. Size of around the trunks and the thighs and the legs, real thick. 23-7-1 with 11 knockouts. He won his first 14 fights as a pro, numbers 13 and 14 against Jimmy Young, and that elevating him into a title shot against Larry Holmes, where he was taken out in the 7th. And then the next season, a furious 10-round draw against Michael Dokes. They rematched a few months later, and Dokes took him out in 1. And that's when Ocasio decided to go the cruiserweight route. And in February of '82, won the cruiserweight championship, a 15-round decision over Robbie Williams.
And in that fight with Michael Dokes, he said he just got caught. So Dokes cut him with a good left hook. He says a lucky punch.
There's the time remaining in the first. It is scheduled for 10. Ocasio subbing for Carl Williams on 1 week's notice. Actually, we were kind of surprised that Biggs, who has really had his problems, had decided to step in the ring with Carl the Truth. They've been fighting out more than he could chew, but Biggs, after those 2 losses to Mason and Damiani, perhaps was looking for a shortcut back to the top, looking for an upset victory over Williams.
Well, concerning Carl the Truth, he said, personally, I think after New Year was over, Carl the Truth saw that he was in bad shape, and he doesn't want to fight me. Tyrell Biggs about Carl the Truth Williams.
Second round action. Robert Palmer, the referee. Tyrell Biggs staring into the eyes of Ossie Ocasio. Biggs, whose career and life went into a tailspin after losing in October of '87 to Mike Tyson. Tonight going up against the veteran Ocasio with nearly 130 more rounds experience than Biggs. But when Biggs went in to fight Tyson, there was great animosity in that fight, especially on the part of Tyson, who felt like the neglected member of the national team. Biggs coming out with his Olympic fame, and Tyson looking to take it out on Biggs. Biggs actually started the fight pretty good early, using the reach advantage, but started tiring at the end and gave Tyson the chance to close in. And Biggs down twice in the 7th, went through the ropes, and that was it. But a tailspin after that. Got involved in drugs, laid out for a year, came back, went to Italy against Damiani, the man he beat in the finals in the '84 Olympics, and lost that fight, stopped in the 5th, and Biggs was completely out of shape, unprepared for the fight. Stayed out another year, then went to England to the backyard of Gary Mason. He was ahead on points when he was stopped in the 7th round. And Biggs says now he's starting to pull his life together. The Tyson fight had such an effect on him mentally. And he says now the pressure is off. Fans are starting to remember him as the gold medal winner instead of the guy who lost to Tyson. So a lot of it's in the head of Tyrell Biggs, who says he's more committed now. And, you know, the victory over Crabtree, not much of a test. Remains to be seen if Ocasio will test him. One thing for sure, Sean, if he loses to Ocasio, it may send him into another tailspin.
He's got very little gain in a fight like this and a lot to lose, because if he does lose the fight, it puts him way out of the picture. If he wins, everybody's going to say, well, Ossie Ocasio, come on. He's a 33-year-old fighter, 23-7-1 record. No, he's not really that great if he beats him.
Plus, only the 11 KOs, not known for his knockout punches. He's right now a distance fighter.
One other big thing happened in his career. I'm talking about Tyrell Biggs. After the Damiani fight, when he first turned professional, he signed up with the Duva clan. And after the Damiani fight, he changed from the Duvas. Now his manager is Gregory Benitez.
Control your body and control your mind. We're here for a night show, and I want you to look like and put this in your mind, okay? This guy's in your way. You understand? Yeah. Not one jab, Tyler, because you give him a chance to get set. I want more than one.
Camina encima de él.
Seconds out.
Seconds. Tú vas de frente, se cansa, okay?
Clear the corner now. Let's go.
Camina. Camina a seguir y mete los golpes.
Ossie Ocasio and Tyrell Biggs meet in the center of the ring to start the 3rd round. This is scheduled for 10. Biggs at 6'5", 224. Ocasio 5'11.5", but 236.
And between rounds, Tyrell Biggs got a tongue lashing from Slim Perkins over there in his corner. He said, get back to the jab. What have we worked on for this fight? Where is that left jab? And starting off this, the 3rd round, you still don't see much left jab from Tyrell Biggs.
And Ocasio has picked up on that. Look how he is moving inside against Biggs.
Right now, Ocasio is just walking right through Tyrell Biggs. He realizes that Biggs doesn't have that much punch. Plus, without a left jab, Biggs has no defense. For a fighter like Ocasio, you have to bust him up. You've got to get him off of you by popping him. Make him pay when he comes inside. Look at those hands, down by his waist. Now, if that left hand of Biggs can get to working, he will be able to sneak the right hand in. It's amazing how many things work if you get that left jab working. I was talking about the end of last round, Al. I was talking a little bit about the Duvas and the breakup of the camp of Tyrell Biggs. Biggs said that after the Tyson fight, they had a party, just a little celebration get-together just of the fight. And whenever the party was over, Duva gave the check over to Tyrell Biggs, and right then, Tyrell Biggs knew something was wrong. You get beat by Mike Tyson, you get punched out, then you have to pay for your own party, even though you lose.
You know things are going bad. Well, Ocasio moving in, and that's when Biggs felt it was time to check out.
He may be getting the check tonight.
Well, Ocasio has had enough time to check Biggs out, and he is as offensive as he has been in this fight.
Those hands of Ocasio way down, and this is time to make him pay for it. Nice uppercut work by Tyrell Biggs. Speaking of Ocasio, Biggs said,
"Oh, Biggs! Here's Ocasio on the ropes and scores upstairs."
And then lets him out. Biggs said he's not real familiar with Ocasio, but he knows he's a crafty veteran. And he says he's a rough fighter. He'll try to rough him up on the inside. So Biggs, at this point, maybe just trying to stay on the outside. Now he's got that left hand working. And in his defense, normally the old professional veterans who've been around the fight game for a while, they tend to take it easy those first couple of rounds. They don't get the muscles moving, don't get everything working until about the third round. And here we are in the third round. Now the pound from the mat. It's time to turn the heat up. Come on strong, throw a lot of punches, and try to steal the round.
Don't go out on Tuesday night unless you're prepared to miss the superstars of wrestling. We suggest you stay in and enjoy the extraordinary exploits of these incredible...
One great advantage that Biggs has in the ring physically is that reach. 77 inches. And if he gets that jab going, and you would figure if you go back to one of his most impressive fights against Jeff Sims, the fight in which Biggs hurt his right shoulder in the second round and essentially had to fight the rest of the way against a tough puncher with his left, and by using the jab was a master stroke and one of the great boxing performances in the heavyweight division.
And sometimes, unfortunately, for fighters, that's what it takes to get them to realize how important that left hand is. Jeff Sims, of course, the man you're talking about, see him a little bit later tonight.
He has that big right punch going up against Tim Witherspoon.
Exactly, and think about it, too. He broke the right collarbone of this man, Tyrell Biggs. Broke the bone. He hit him on the right on the collarbone. Ouch! You have to fight 10 rounds with a broken collarbone.
Withstanding the pain.
Every time you get hit, even not on the collarbone, anywhere, it's got to hurt. Every time you throw a punch, it's going to hurt.
It was at that point that I thought, well, Sims may make it, or rather Biggs. But his career going downhill. He had won his first 15 fights, then the loss to Tyson, then the losses to Damiani and Mason. And since then, he beat Crabtree in November in a 5-rounder, but Crabtree, one of everybody's favorite opponents in the heavyweight division. Not a test, nothing more than a confidence boost, and this is where Sims is right now against Ocasio.
Exactly. You talked about Francesco Damiani that Tyrell fought. He said he was tearing Damiani to pieces. Said in the 5th round that Damiani butted me, cut me over the right eye. Said they stopped the fight and just gave it to Damiani. He said he was way ahead. It wasn't even a fight. But when he said he looked back at the scorecards, Damiani was slightly ahead on the scorecard.
4th round action, under 50 seconds left. Biggs now, Sean, looks to be peering in, just looking for his spots for one shot.
Now he is so relaxed, and look how much different he is here as a fighter than he was in the first 2 rounds. Now he's calm, he's got control of the fight with that left jab. He's working what he wants to do. He's playing with Ocasio here. Also, Ocasio has given him a little bit more room. Perhaps he's given him that room because he's got those punches working, and he's got some extension on him, which is keeping Ocasio out of bay. There's a nice left jab. Pretty left jabs, Tyrell Biggs.
Biggs at this point not even ranked among the top 10 heavyweights. So he has a ways to go to get into contention, and he has to keep busy. Final seconds.
Put your leg down. You ain't tired, are you? No. All right, well, look. You see you controlling the fight. I want you to look better every round you go out, okay? You know what you did last round. You know his strengths. Get his nose out good. Get his nose. Yeah.
Seconds out. 5th.
From the corner of Ossie Ocasio as he meets Tyrell Biggs in the middle of the ring. 5th round action.
Between rounds, Slim Perkins again in Biggs' corner said, keep it up. I want snap. Use that snap. What he's saying is 90% of the power of the punch is right on the end. That snap right on the end. You twist, you lock the elbow, you turn the shoulder. That's what he's telling him to do. Let's see if he follows instructions.
Biggs' corner feels this point that he is controlling the fight, that at this point he knows the strengths of his opponent Ocasio, and they just want Biggs to look better in each round. Ocasio, who's known to go the distance, and you see the average length of the fights of the two fighters. Biggs with 11 knockouts in his 16 victories. Ocasio has 11 KOs and 23 wins in 31 fights.
Now these two boxers have set the mode of the fight. Ocasio is content with just following around Tyrell Biggs. Tyrell Biggs just takes a half step back or a step to the side and works his combinations and keeps that jab moving. Now what Ocasio has to do is turn this tempo around. He's got to fire up Tyrell Biggs to turn it back to his way. Biggs complete control.
Remember Ocasio, who's now been in and out of the ring at the twilight of his career. He has only fought 8 rounds in the last 2 years. He had fought late in November of '88. And his only fight since that time was the 8-rounder, the decision loss to Ray Mercer, December of '89 in Vegas.
And here is that snap that Slim Perkins is talking about. Tyrell Biggs putting that left jab out there. Now he brings that left jab from way down. And when he throws it, he snaps it from the bottom. What he's trying to do is he's trying to pick up the head of Ocasio. He wants to snap and lift it up. Now Ocasio with a nice right hand. But when he drags it back like that, Ocasio could land some good right hands over the top. Right there. Maybe he's listening to us. I think he's tuning in to Thursday Night Fights.
He told me beforehand he always tunes in. Wants to get the tips from the champ. Remember the 3 fights that Biggs lost in a row where he was stopped. 2 of them came in the 7th round, 1 in the 5th. So it's that area now where Biggs before has gotten a little careless or tired. Roundhouse right by Ocasio, and he follows it up with a flurry. Final 10 seconds of the 5th round. Al Albert and Sean O'Grady ringside at Trump Plaza.
Come on, let's take this one. Come on, let's take this one. One más.
Get your water.
How far do you think Tyrell Biggs has to go to get back into the contender mode of the earlier Tyrell Biggs?
Well, the difference in the really great heavyweights or the great boxers and the mediocre boxers are the details. These great boxers really pay attention to the small details. I'm talking about the basics of boxing. The hands up, the chin down. The great fighters do the basics perfectly. And I think that's what he needs to work on now. This is a good schooling fight. He's in complete command of this fight, Tyrell Biggs is. But he just needs to tighten up a little bit.
And he's going up against a man who's a fire plug. Certainly tough to remove from his feet. Ocasio has been stopped on 4 occasions. Once to Larry Holmes, once to Michael Dokes, also to John Gardner in London, and to Evander Holyfield in 11 rounds.
He said in that Holyfield fight, Ocasio did, who is scoring right now, he said it was a tough fight. It was in St. Tropez. He said he went there too late. He wasn't accustomed to the climate there in St. Tropez.
Although appeared to be in better shape in that fight than he is here tonight.
Wow, we haven't seen many body shots from Tyrell Biggs. A lot of head hunting, which is something that, oh, nice 1-2. And Tyrell Biggs now from the southpaw stance.
Tyrell scoring big in win this one. First going inside, then upstairs.
One of the bad things that the amateurs teach a fighter is to aim for that head. Go for the head shots. There's very few body shots in the amateur ranks. Why? It's only 3 rounds, and that's evident here. A terrific amateur fighter was Tyrell Biggs. In fact, the best in the world. Gold medal at the '84 Olympics.
And Biggs indicating to us earlier that he is just getting over some of those amateur habits. He feels now he's finally becoming a fighter, not just looking to score points as you have in the amateur ranks, but now going out and able to fight.
Put your arms down, Tom. Shake it. Shake it. Massage his leg there, Jay.
So Ocasio comes into the 7th round off his big punch of the night, seeing if he could build on that. So far, it appears to be Tyrell Biggs in control in the scheduled 10-rounder. Biggs 16-3 with 11 KOs. And Ocasio 23-7-1, also with 11 knockouts. Ocasio has gone 10 rounds on 16 occasions. Biggs only 3. As we get closer and closer to the final rounds of this fight. Biggs at 28 years of age. How time flies.
Now the 7th round is when you need to start turning the heat up. For Ocasio, he's got to get those hands moving, start scoring some points. I've got him too far behind. In fact, I've given every round over to Tyrell Biggs.
Is Ocasio capable of coming up with the shocker in the last few rounds?
You have to wonder. You talked about his knockouts, 11 KOs and 23 wins, only 47% knockouts for Ossie Ocasio.
And his last knockout came 6 years ago, 1984. Don Alejandro. And that was a defense of his cruiserweight title fight in Puerto Rico.
Now, I was talking a little bit earlier about the paycheck from the fight party after the Mike Tyson fight for Tyrell Biggs. That is a story that Tyrell Biggs gave me today. He's the one that told me that story, so that's perhaps his version.
Or you could look at it another way, a Sean O'Grady exclusive.
That's right. Maury Povich.
Stay tuned.
In the making.
Stay tuned right here for more.
In this corner.
Get back. Get out. Step out. Box.
Final 15 seconds of the 7th round.
Snapping it off is Tyrell Biggs. They've told him to keep snapping those punches. That's what he's doing. Putting them out all the way out in front of him.
Some water in the corner. Robert Palmer, the referee, having that attended to. 8th round action. Tyrell Biggs on the left, Ossie Ocasio on the right.
Between rounds, Slim Perkins again in the corner of Tyrell Biggs. Said, he came back to the corner, he said, Tyrell Biggs said, I'm tired. Perkins said, come on, you say you're tired? How tired do you think he is? Trying to pump up Tyrell Biggs.
How tired do you think he is?
I think he's real tired. I know by experience. Every fight you have, no matter what condition you're in, you'll get tired. The better condition you're in, the earlier you will get that second win. After you get that second win, you can usually go all night. In the corner of Ossie Ocasio, each round, between rounds, he's been standing up to try to get more air into his lungs. At this point, Biggs is not putting enough pressure on Ocasio to really take him out. If he could force Ocasio to expend some energy. Now Ocasio trying to stay loose. He's dropping his arms to try to loosen his arms up. As the fight goes longer, muscles tend to tighten up. It's harder to throw the punches.
Well, for Biggs, though, this is now a process to get back, first of all, into the rankings and into a position of maybe getting a shot.
Exactly.
This is just the second fight in his comeback.
Biggs wants to stay active. He says he wants to fight about once per month.
Box.
15 seconds left in the 8th round. We have a couple of rounds over the horizon.
In this round, Biggs has taken a break. He's backed off a little bit from Ossie Ocasio.
Good round.
Give my back, Eddie. Put your head over. Cabeza acá. Cabeza aquí.
Ahí.
Mira, si le metes el palo aquí a la izquierda y termina con la derecha aquí y termina con la izquierda, lo trota. Ah, sí.
And when you get close, whip them combinations on. Hurry up.
Go, second. Let's go.
Tyrell Biggs going up against Ossie Ocasio. Biggs, the former gold medal winner of the 1984 Olympics in the heavyweight, super heavyweight division. And Ocasio, the former world cruiserweight champion, who has seen the last of his cruiserweight days. He certainly looks like a super heavyweight at this point. At 236, he's 5.5 inches smaller than Biggs, but outweighs Biggs by a dozen pounds.
Between rounds, they're telling Biggs, work the combos and then move. Come on and close the show. Go ahead and take him out. Put some punches together and get this guy out of there. But he's not putting enough pressure over to Ossie Ocasio to take him out. Ocasio can go like this all night long.
And that's the case. It's a good thing we're limited to 10 rounds here tonight. Actually, Biggs has had one big flurry. That was at the end of the 3rd round.
That was a Biggs flurry.
That's right. But they're the only one.
Well, now Biggs took a rest in that last round, so I expect him to be stronger in this round, and would expect, even from his corner telling him, to come on and close out the show. Go in, throw those heavy punches, and then move around, get the angles on Ocasio. Ocasio extremely slow. Now he's just following around Biggs. See, Biggs hasn't given anything to Ocasio to knock him off of him. If he could throw some real hard punches, set up Ocasio, would be a little bit hesitant to walk inside.
Past the halfway mark in the 9th round.
Nice left uppercut from Tyrell Biggs. Biggs says that for this fight, he has been working on the uppercuts.
swelling, as you can see, around the left eye of Biggs. Some puffiness.
Break.
30 seconds left in the ninth.
Still fighting very defensively is Tyrell Biggs. They told him to move in and throw some combinations between rounds, so not following instructions to the T. He's still throwing a lot of punches, but moving backwards like that, it's hard to knock your opponent out. Your weight, the thrust of your punches are all going backwards. Unless you can get your opponent to come forward quickly, then you cannot take him out.
Now, good round.
Close the show, you know, I want this like the first round, you understand?
Thank you, John.
Close the show.
Seconds out.
Ali here looking at you. Time.
Seconds out.
Smart.
Touch him up. Last one. Good round.
Final round.
Good break.
It's the final minute 15 against Ocasio. Biggs is trying to nail Ocasio to put a KO on his ledger.
And again, Biggs had Ocasio on the ropes. He was scoring heavily, and he backed off and let him out of that corner. And now it's Ocasio trying to score some, trying to put some combinations on.
Tyrell looking for a big finish. Ocasio looking for another distance fight on his record, and this is 14th year as a professional boxer. And the former cruiserweight champion now serving as an opponent to the heavyweights along the way. Coming down to the final 30 seconds of the fight.
This has been kind of a monotonous fight. Tyrell Biggs has controlled it from without, but that's the way Tyrell Biggs has wanted to fight this. He doesn't care to get into a slugging match with Ocasio. He wants to use his jab like he's done since the third round, control Ocasio, keep Ocasio out there at the distance, make him eat that leather.
Final 10 seconds. There have been no knockdowns.
Watch your head.
No hits, no runs, no errors.
Exactly what you don't want to see in boxing.
But Biggs has got some work to do. He's got to get back in the gym and work on those basics.
But he gets 10 rounds of work in tonight, looking for his second straight on the comeback trail.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Trump Plaza, here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. The scoring by points as follows. Judges Rocky Castellani and John Potere each score 98-93, while Judge John Stewart, he observed it 97-93. For the winner by unanimous decision, Tyrell Biggs.
Shower of boos from the crowd. Tyrell Biggs wins the unanimous decision. John O'Grady, you felt he was in full control, but the crowd perhaps expecting a little more out of Tyrell Biggs.
Well, the crowd wants to see a fight. Strategically, Biggs did perfectly to his fight plan. He wanted to use the jab and circle around Ocasio. You don't have to please the crowd. You have to win the fight. That's what he did.